going on, news members of the team of Coach Cans and Nidokings, and today we have our week 12 DBL match versus Roshi and the Aston Villampharos. So, this week I was not at home, not the whole week. The week when we were planning on having our battle, I ended up not being able to be at my house, so I quickly built a team on my sister's computer and battled him while I was at my actual house. So, we had a battle, and it was a very good battle. I'm not going to spoil the results or anything like that, but I'm going to be going over the team that I built for him and why I built it. This was kind of a quickly built team, so that's why there's a lot of max when it comes to stats. So I didn't do any calcing whatsoever, so pretty cool stuff. Anyways, as you see his team here, he's got Mew, which is probably against the Nidokings in the IBL, and it's a great Pokemon, incredible for league play. Clefable, which is a very bulky fairy type. Fairy types are very good. Ferrothorn, very bulky, one weakness in fire. Conkeldurr is just a bulky, good physical attacker with poison jab options to cover the fairy. Rotom, and it's got knockoff too. So Rotom Heat is just kind of there. It's a good pivoter, and it can carry a lot of bulk, and it's got a good typing, and being only weak to rock and water typing. Bronzong is a very bulky Pokemon that can set up rocks, and I think he can spin. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Anyways, Donphan, very defensively based ground type that hits very hard. It can hit very, very hard. Ditto is a good Scarfer if you want to swap in and on a Pokemon and see what it's got, and then you have the Scarf, so you outspeed it and you get its stats, so that's always good. Golbat is a very, very good Pokemon when it comes to the Eviolite because it's got a very good typing and poison flying, so yeah, pretty cool stuff. Vileplume is I believe it gets Spore, so it's a decent Spore Pokemon. It's got decent bulk, a very decent typing, and poison grass. So anyways, yeah, Vileplume is a decent Pokemon. And then Dusknoir, a very, very bulky ghost type. Ghost typing is just a good typing in general, and yeah, so because that actually works against several Pokemon on my team. Now, the team that I built is, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, if you will have already seen the team on the left or not, but I'm gonna start going over the team now. So we start out with Kitty, the Electivire, holding the Firium Z. I decided I want to run a Z because looking at his team, the only thing that's actually faster is Mew, and I would have calced and been able to put those stats in different places had I calced, because I don't know what the next highest is. I believe it's base 80 in Rotom or something like that, and I wouldn't even need to do that. Actually, I probably didn't even need to put speed at all, in all honesty, because of how slow his team is in general. But yeah, we're running Motor Drive because he's got that Rotom Heat who can Volt Switch. He's got Mew that can learn Electric type moves. I think Clefable gets Thunderbolt. Could be wrong, but it might. So pretty cool stuff. As you see, we're rocking Hidden Power Ice, Volt Switch, Psychic, and Flamethrower. Decided to go to Special Set this week. I didn't really want to go Physical because he's got that Ferrothorn, which is an issue, and Electivire does not get anything for Conkeldurr on the physical side, so I don't think it gets in headbutt. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So, yeah. Anyways, Hidden Power Ice is mainly for Vileplume. It hits Golbat too, decently. Donphan is probably the main reason I have that, because I can't really touch him with anything else here on Kitty. Volt Switch is so I can get a pivot out, because the only thing I can't pivot off of is that Donphan, so that's very nice. Psychic hits the Conkeldurr very nicely. Even if it has Assault Vest, it'll hit it better than other moves would. It hits the Golbat and the Vileplume for super effective damage too, so it hits very nicely on his entire team. And then Flamethrower, as you can tell, or guess, it's for Ferrothorn. It also hits the Vileplume decently. So yeah, that is Kitty Force, max special attack, max speed, 4 in special defense. Yeah, just the max special attack so I can hit hard, modest nature, because I don't need to run timid, because the only time I'd outspeed Mew if it was modest. So pretty cool stuff. Or anything, or adamant, you know, because Mew could be physical too. It's just got a better special move pool. That's why I run it special in the IBL most of the time. Anyways, next up, I really liked how Hoodlum fit in against his team, because Clefable is probably the biggest weakness, and that's about it to Hoodlum here. So it works out very nicely for me. I decided to run an Assault Vest Moxie set with Iron Head, Knockoff, High Jump Kick, and Fire Punch. So Iron Head is mainly for the Clefable. I could do Poison Jab, but I didn't really want to do that because he does have an immunity to poison in that Bronzong, and Golbat resisted, and Iron Head just hits more against his entire team. Ferrothorn resisted, Rotom resisted 4 times, Bronzong resisted, and I'm pretty sure that is all. So Steel hits very decently on his team. Knockoff could be used against any one of his Pokemon. Get rid of an item, Assault Vest on Conkeldurr, Scarf for a Life Orb or something like that on Mew, even though, well, actually it's a Z Pokemon, so it could bring a Z move. Anyway, Ditto, get rid of its Scarf if he decides to bring the Ditto, and leftovers and whatnot. So, and it's also a stab move, so it hits his team very, very hard. I believe, let's see, I think Clefable's is only resistance to Dark, so it's really nice. High Jump Kick, well, actually Conkeldurr, excuse me, but High Jump Kick is just a strong move. I haven't run it yet on this guy. I've always run Drain Punch. I decided to run High Jump Kick just so I can do loads of damage. I was putting this team together quickly so we can get the battle done, but he does have that immunity in Dusknoir, so I just went for High Jump Kick. I probably should have gone for Drain Punch, but I just wanted to hit super hard. And Fire Punch, obviously for Ferrothorn and Vileplume, because this thing is awful on the special side. Anyways, we're doing a bulky attacker set. Max HP, max attack, 4 into special defense with an adamant nature, so I can hit super hard. So that is Hoodlum for us. Next up we have Bubblebutt the Empoleon with leftovers in Defiant, because I didn't decide to run Knockoff this week because my team isn't really too hurt by rocks. We've got Knockoff, Ice Beam, Scald, and Stealth Rock. So I decided to make this thing kind of mixed in a very bulky physical defensive Pokemon, because he's got several big physical threats. Like that Conkeldurr is very scary. This offers me a switch into Ferrothorn, as well as Rotom Heat, because well, not really Rotom Heat, because Rotom Heat's a special attacker, excuse me. Donphan, I should be able to take an Earthquake and something like that and hit really hard with a Scald. Knockoff, once again, Dark is good against his team, hits off a lot of hits of items. Ice Beam works against that, the Grass type, the Flying types, the Flying type, excuse me. It's decent on his team, and the Donphan too. Scald works really nicely against his team, because I believe that Ferrothorn and Vileplume are his only water resistances, so that is really, really nice. And then Stealth Rock, so I can get up rocks, and he doesn't have anything that's too damaged by it. Rotom Heats and Golbat are really the only things, but any chip damage on some of the bulkier mons like Ferrothorn or Conkeldurr is always appreciated. So we're rocking max HP, max physical defense with relaxed nature, so I can just be very physically bulky, and then 4 in special attack to boost the damage of Ice Beam and Scald just that little bit. I didn't really want to lower my attack stat because of Knockoff, so that is Bubblebutt for us. Next up we have Aquamarine the Primarina, my other Zmon, also holding a Z-Stone. I said to go Waterium Z because I said water works really nicely against his entire team. And yeah, we're running Surf instead of Scald because I'm bringing the Waterium Z. And I believe that Z Surf hits harder than Z Scald. If it doesn't really matter. Anyways, Hidden Power Fire is for Ferrothorn. It also hits that Vileplume very decently. Psychic, I already said why I was bringing that, because he doesn't have a immunity to it. He doesn't have an immunity, and hits most of his Pokemon for at least neutral, which is nice. Surf, good water type move, base 90 power. Water hits well as an entire team, so very, very nice. And then Toxic, so I can maybe set that on the Clefable, or Conkeldurr, or Rotom, to put the thing more on a timer so I don't have to deal with it as much. And we're rocking predictable set EV-wise, max HP, max special attack, 4 in special defense, modest nature, so I can hit super hard. And that is Aquamarine. Next up we have Ren the Gardevoir. Holding the Gardevoir with Hyper Voice, Psychic, Hidden Power Fire, and Energy Ball. So Hyper Voice, Fairy is a good typing in general. He doesn't have very many resistances. Well, he has actually more resistances than I originally thought on his team. And Ferrothorn, Rotom Heat, Bronzong, Golbat, and Vileplume. So either way, Fairy just hits well against his team. Psychic hits most of those Pokemon that are good against the Fairy very hard. Hidden Power Fire is once again for Ferrothorn, because that thing with a Gyro Ball could obliterate Primarina, or not Primarina, Rem. It could probably obliterate Primarina too. Primarina is not that fast though, so neither was Gardevoir this week because I decided to run a bulky. Yeah, we're rocking Energy Ball for the Donphan. And I think that's pretty much it in that sense for the Energy Ball. I don't think it really does much to anything else, but I didn't really know what else to put on Rem, so I decided Energy Ball would be a good move to think. Yes. Max HP, max special attack with a modest nature, so I can hit super hard. 4 in special defense, I guess just for Mew or something like that. I didn't really, I just kind of put EVs and stats I wanted to use, because Gardevoir at base 100, I would speed tie with Mew, because that's his fastest Pokemon. You know what, I'm actually a little surprised how he's won 9 out of his 10 games, and has such a slow squad. Hold on, let me check. I know he has one forfeit win, because Jad literally dropped off the face of the earth pretty much. So I haven't spoken with him in forever. Yeah, he's had 3 forfeit wins. Dang. So that's probably why. Anyway, yeah, so that's Gardevoir for us. And finally, we have someone who I think he's only come to 1 match. I don't even remember what match it was. He ended up winning the match. This is the only Pokemon I've not brought to one of the more match, which is Ravager the Pinsir, holding the Choice Band. As I said, his team is very, very slow. Rotom and Mew are the only things that actually outspeed Ravager, so I decided to run a Jolly Nature, make this thing very fast, and give it a Choice Band, and just wreck house on his team. I'm running Mold Breaker, mainly for that Rotom heat, so I can get an Earthquake off on it, which would be very, very nice, because it would absolutely obliterate it. And yeah, close combat, it was one of those things I just wanted to put it on there. Hits Brunswick for neutral, not Golbat, Ditto for super effective damage, Ferrothorn for super effective damage, so yeah. X-Scissor, because it's a good stab move, hits Mew super hard. It'll hit that Bronzong pretty decently too. And, I mean, it does hit Vileplume for neutral too. The issue, Earthquake's really the only thing I can do here with Ravager against his entire team. And then knockoff, as I already explained, on the other 2 Pokemon that have knockoff, so pretty cool stuff. We're rocking max attack, max speed with a Jolly Nature and 4 in special defense. And yeah, so that is the team we're bringing, and let's get into the battle. Here we are for the battle now. As you see the team he brought, he ended up bringing Ferrothorn, Clefable, Conkeldurr, Donphan, Rotom Heat, and Mew. So he brought a pretty interesting team, and I was pretty confident in my prep when it came to this. He brought a lot of bulk, and he did bring his fastest Pokemon, but he brought a ton of bulk. So as you see, yeah, I was about to say go check out the team prep, but you've already seen the team prep because I'm doing them in the same video. Anyways, we're going to play music off. And yeah, so anyways, we have Conkeldurr here versus Hoodlum. Actually, I'm gonna put it on normal speed so I can go over this. So anyways, I decided to go knockoff because I knew this thing was probably gonna have a Assault Vest, so I wanted to get rid of that for later. And I took a Drain Punch. It took a ton of damage, but I was able to keep Hoodlum around for later just in case. So Mach Punch would have obviously killed. It didn't do much to Ravager, and I kind of expected this. I don't know really know what he expected, but I brought Mold Breaker specifically for that reason. It took him a long time to decide what to go into here. So anyways, I went for Earthquake again because I was choice banded into it. I didn't really feel like switching out and having something take a hit from this guy, so I just went for 2 Earthquakes, and I did over half his health, which is really, really nice, and he's going to take me out with 1 more Gyro Ball. Or is it Gyro Ball? I don't know. I've heard both, so you know. I do hate how slow is. Anyways, I send out Rem here because I know I can kill this thing with a Hidden Power Fire, and he's going to send in Clefable here, expecting such thing, because it makes sense to send this thing in, because of its good defense stats. So anyways, Hidden Power Fire does a very decent amount of damage, so I decided I'm going to stay in and go for Hyper Voice, and it does a ton of damage. He does miss the Toxic, which is unfortunate for him, but I decided to go for Hyper Voice again because nothing wants to happen here, and that could have definitely mattered. No, it didn't. Anyway, that does a ton of damage, so I ended up going for Energy Ball here because I knew this would do a ton of damage. You would obviously have Sturdy, and I did not do Donphan Gunk Shot, but he misses, and that sealed the game right there. So I was able to take down the Donphan there, and Mew can't do much. Shadow Ball will not be able to do much. He goes for the Freeze, and it doesn't do much. Maybe he wasn't even carrying Shadow Ball, but I get frozen in that I thought same turn. So anyways, he goes for another Ice Beam, and I'm able to take the Mew down with another Hyper Voice. I mean, the fact that I got frozen is just funny. So I go for Hidden Power Fire here. Even with the Aqua Berry, that's going to be enough to take down the Ferrothorn, and he's going to send in the Conkeldurr. Without the Assault Vest, cannot live a Hyper Voice. So that ended up being the match. I ended up beating the team with the best record. I think he's either got the best record or he's tied for the best record with Frosty, Frostfire, the Irvine and Fernapes, at 9-1, and now I was able to just pull off this crazy victory. I played aggressively the entire match. It wasn't even something that I was really thinking through my plays. I just decided to say, I'm like, you know what, let's do it. Going Earthquake with, what's his name? Maybe you didn't see the Mold Breaker in chat, because it doesn't actually pop up on the screen. It pops up in the chat. Anyways, getting rid of Rotom was very, very nice, and I was able to get Remin on a perfect time. And with my bulk, I knew I could live a couple hits, and yeah, so that ended up being the battle. I really hope we're doing it. Did look appreciated. I will leave the link to Roshi's channel in the description below. Roshi's an awesome dude. I really appreciate his patience throughout all of this because we planned to do this battle this weekend, and I ended up staying in town way longer than I thought I was gonna, and he waited, and I decided that I was just gonna battle there at home because, you know, I didn't want to make him wait any longer. But I really appreciate his patience when it comes to this. And yes, I really hope you enjoyed this battle, guys. If you did, like, appreciated. DBL Twitter link and his channel link will be in the description below. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all later.